And we are live. What is up, guys? Welcome back in. My name is Mountaineer Paul, and this is another edition of Hoops from the Hills. Can't thank you guys enough for joining me for this evening. A lot to talk about, a lot to get to, a lot to tease you about. So the Big 12 schedule has been released. I don't like it. I'm just going to be completely honest. There's not a lot to like about this schedule. There is some things that I like, but I want to gripe about it a little bit. West Virginia is in the mix for a four-star 2024 player that is down to four teams. Iowa State and West Virginia amongst the Big 12, along with Marquette and another school out of Maryland. Jamarian Bateman, big-time prospect, top 50 player. Can West Virginia land him? We'll see. And Darian Devries, when on Three Guys Before the Game yesterday, highlighting the most surprising player so far in summer workouts. And it's not who you think it is. I give you five names, and you won't guess the player he's most impressed with, which might give it away. It's all on this episode of Hoops from the Hills. Stick around, guys. Stick around. Let's read some ads, and then we'll get back to all that. So, as people come in, I'll probably go over the outline one more time, and then we'll get into it. All right, guys, this episode of Hoops from the Hills is brought to you by Dutch Miller Automotive, where friends and family pricing means you get the best deal right up front on any new or pre-loved vehicle in stock, and that's every time. With brands like Chevrolet, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Kia, Hyundai, Ford, GMC, Buick, and Subaru, the Dutch Miller Automotive family is always growing and ready to put you in the car or truck you've been searching for. Check out our inventory across West Virginia at DutchMillerAuto.com, or you can come in today to the home of friends and family pricing. Only at a Dutch Miller Automotive store. That's near you. And, of course, as always, can't forget about our people at Magic Shine, can we? Today's video is sponsored by Magic Shine Auto Spa and Tint. And that's based out of Morgantown, West Virginia. If you haven't heard about them, they're a great spot, guys. I would highly suggest getting over to Magic Shine. They do incredible work there, truly. A lot of people talking about Magic Shine these days and what they can do. So I highly suggest getting over there, like I said. But your vehicle's care is their top priority. They use only the highest quality products to ensure your car not only looks its best, but is also protected and maintained with the utmost care. From window tinting with top-of-the-line Max Pro Tint or protective ceramic coatings from Diamond Protec, they've got you covered. Drive in today and experience the difference at Magic Shine Auto Spa and Tint, where your car shines like new. Shine on, Morgantown. What is up? Welcome back in, guys. My name is Mountaineer Paul, and you're here. You're at Hoops in the Hills. A lot to talk about. What's up, John? What's up, John? We got two Johns. Let me get a drink of the Gatorade really quick, and then we'll move back into everything. So here's the basic outline. Big 12 schedule has been released. I have an article for that. West Virginia's in the mix for a four-star, top 50 player, down to four teams for 2024. That would mean one of these last two spots would be his. He is not a big man. And then Darian Devries in Three Guys Before the Game yesterday, detailing his most impressive and surprising player so far from summer workouts. No, it's not Tucker DeVries. No, it's not Javon Small. Stick around for that as well. All right, guys, let's share an article from WestVirginiaInsiders.com where we talk about just exactly what I was mentioning there just a minute ago. I'm going to gripe about this schedule a little bit. Here's the article I put out just a little bit ago. West Virginia basketball faces brutal Big 12 schedule as the 24-25 schedule is released in the Big 12. West Virginia University men's basketball team is preparing for a demanding 24-25 season with the recent unveiling of the Big 12 schedule matrix. Led by Coach Darian Devries, the Mountaineers are poised to navigate a rigorous path featuring team matchups against some of the nation's top college teams. The The schedule breakdown reveals that WVU will engage in a home-and-home series with BYU, Utah, TCU, Houston, and Cincinnati. This arrangement aims to balance travel logistics while ensuring a high level of competition throughout the season. Notably, including Cincinnati in this format offers a geographical advantage, contrasting with longer trips required for games against other Big 12 teams despite their relative proximity to Morgantown. In terms of single games, West Virginia will host formidable opponents such as Arizona, which is good. We get them at home at least. Arizona State, that's good. We get them at home. Iowa State and Oklahoma State, not too bad, but the road games are really kind of what pisses me off for this one when you look at the slate of road games and who's been good traditionally lately in the Big 12 guys. They will face challenging away games: Colorado, Kansas, Kansas State, Texas Tech, and Baylor. And those are one-offs. That means we don't get our get-backs at home. We're 0-10 against Kansas on the road all the time. Anyway, this travel-intensive schedule presents a significant test, particularly considering the strength of these opponents, many of whom are anticipated to be ranked in the preseason top 25. A notable scheduling decision is the absence of a home game against Kansas, a perennial powerhouse in college basketball historically. WVU has shown strength against Kansas at home, but has yet to secure a victory at Allen Fieldhouse, underscoring the competitiveness of the conference schedule. While it may seem like the Big 12's scheduling approach emphasizes geographical proximity, historical matchups, and competitive balance, it has surely placed WVU amidst a portable lineup of opponents. The conference boasts 8 teams receiving preseason top 25 recognition, highlighting its depth and competitiveness. With 5 teams solidly in the top tier, with including Houston, Baylor, Iowa State, Kansas, and several others on the verge, Mountaineers are set for a season filled with tough matchups. And overall, while WV does benefit from home-and-home games against opponents like Arizona and Iowa State, the majority of their schedule will be battles against elite competition as the countdown for 24-25 season commences. West Virginia fans can anticipate a thrilling journey through the Big 12, where every game will be a rigorous test. WV basketball schedule for the upcoming season reflects the Big 12's reputation as one of the toughest conferences in college basketball. But our Mountaineers' ability to navigate this challenging path will hinge on the preparation and adaptability and performance under pressure. So, man, what a heck of a schedule this is, guys. Obviously, looking at this here, so let's get to the meat and potatoes of it here. I like that we have the home in Cincy. That's a no-brainer. I don't know why we didn't get it with UCF. I don't know why, But anyway, so we've got BYU home and home, Utah home and home, TCU home and home, Houston home and home, which will be one of the best teams in the country, if not the best next year, and Cincinnati home and home. I'm not feeling a lot of break in there as far as those teams are all good teams, but they're mid-tier, just similar to us, right? And then single games, which means whether these are either going to be at home only or on the road only, right? Arizona, Arizona State, Iowa, Oklahoma State, and UCF, which is at the Coliseum. So we do have Arizona and we do have Iowa State in Morgantown. Those are big. Those are top 15 teams right there. I will give you that. But on the road, you were talking about Kansas, Kansas State, Texas Tech, and Baylor, and we get no get-backs at home for any of those. That's going to be really tough. All 4 of those teams are going to be better than us, at least by my measure, heading into next year, based on what they've done in the offseason and just historically, right? Baylor maybe not so much, but definitely you could say Kansas and Kansas State and possibly Texas Tech. It's just, I don't know, man. I just wish we could have flipped a couple of these in and out. And then obviously love having UCF at the Coliseum and stuff. It's just, why couldn't we get that game home and away? I mean, I get it. Going to Orlando is just like going to name it, but it's still for the West Virginia fans. we're going to travel a lot better and further to UCF in Orlando every day of the week than we are going to Provo. Just, I mean, come on, like that's probably one of the ones I would have flip-flopped, maybe a Utah or maybe a BYU, which I'm glad we're playing the newcomers, but geez, man, I don't know. Let me know how you guys feel about that underneath here. Let me know. Drop a comment below, guys. Am I bitching too much? Let me know. Like the videos always, and subscribe, guys. If you're not subscribed to Hoops from the Hills, it's an all basketball YouTube channel where we talk Big 12 and Mountaineer basketball on the reg. All right, so let's check into some comments really quick before we go any further with this. All right, Michael DeHart, what's up, man? We got screwed, he said. In a word, yes, we got screwed. WVU have the toughest college football and possibly the men's basketball schedule this season. Women's basketball, easiest. What's up, Theodore Jinks? Russell Snyder, hooray. Story time with Mountaineer Paul. Russell Snyder. Zona in Morgantown is awesome. I do agree. I agree. Are they the attraction of a Kansas? Not quite, but they are in that stratosphere. You're right. I would rather have Kansas at home rather than away, though. I mean, look, I know you're splitting hairs between playing at Fall Gallon and playing in Arizona, but good Lord. I mean, I get it. This is a whole new regime. And basically every single bit of our Big 12 record has come under Bob Huggins, right? So maybe there was something he didn't do well when getting us ready for Kansas, or maybe Bill Self had his number in Fall Gallon. Obviously, they're going to be more talented 99% of the time than we are. And so going on the road to play them just puts us at that just a little hair more disadvantage. And so we probably should never be favored against them on the road. We get that, which is why I don't know why we're on the road playing them. I don't know. I mean, I get it. They had to obviously they had to consider more than West Virginia when breaking down the schedule. But can't a guy just get on here and gripe a little bit? That's all. That's all I'm saying. What's up, Jacob Yoho? What's up, Precise_2K? Not going to lie 100%, brother. Your name is not one that familiar to me. Thank you for being here in the chat. Thank you for, getting involved and commenting, man. Really appreciate that. So if you've always been in here, I apologize. It's just there's so many people. I've got thousands of subscribers between both channels now. It's just hard to keep up with them all. So if you have been coming around, I apologize. David Cummings, it seems to be very manageable, and at least we don't have to play at Hilton. Man, we've never in history ever won a game at Fall Gallon in Kansas. So I get where you're going with that, but at the end of the day, that's just basically a loss, at least under Bob Huggins. I don't want to speak for Darian Devries yet because, he deserves his time to – let's see what his numbers look like home and away. At Drake, I wish I would have thought to bring the numbers up, but I'm going to guess and say he was probably pretty good on the road at Drake. Jeff Barnes, football and basketball schedules better at least improve our strength of schedule. You damn straight, right? Always here to support when I can, my man. Thanks, man. What's up, Smack? I wouldn't say you're just bitching, but come on. We always get bent over without a reach around. Lord have mercy. I don't think you're griping too much, bitching too much. It's time that WV Sports picks up our game. We need to win whether at home or away. So home and home versus only one away. We need to be competitive. And there is there's a first time for everything, David. I was just countering your point about I wouldn't exactly say, Ames – I don't feel personally Ames is a tougher place to play than the Fog is all I'm saying. Based on how good Kansas usually is and then the crazy chants they do there and everything. But, I mean, surely Iowa State's definitely in the conversation. We're splitting hairs even talking about it. But if I had my choice based on how history has gone so far, I'd probably still rather play Iowa State. They're just not going to be as talented. Maybe this coming year they are. I mean, they can bring back everybody from the Sweet 16 squad. But, in most years, I mean, Kansas is going to come back and they'll be good again next year. But it's not just about that. Okay, Michael, I appreciate that. He said, I got to run. Plan on joining your main channel in Cousins on payday, so trying to help you all out a bit more. Talk to you later. Okay, man. Thanks, Michael. Lost my train of thought a little bit there. Yeah, to be the best, you have to beat the best. That's right. That's right. I get you there. It's the other thing. I just feel like not only should Cincinnati be a protected game for us, but I feel like UCF should be. Maybe I'm the only people that feel this way, but I feel like UCF is an East Coast team. We're on the East Coast. We're at least out. I consider us to be East Coast, even though I mean, if you really want my opinion, I feel like we're more Southern. But anyway, we're on this coast. I feel like we should be protected with UCF. I do. I would love that to be a rivalry for us. Guys, they're getting a lot of momentum as far as the teams and realignment people are going to be looking at. And so I feel like they would be beneficial to have a rivalry with. I just do. Maybe I'm wrong on that. But generally speaking, man, I just think they're heading in the right direction as a program. So, but overall, this is just a really tough schedule. And I'm not sure how it's going to play out, but I'm going to be there for every game. With this schedule, it says smack the devil. Do you think it puts more pressure to have a better run of non-conference game wins? Well, we know what the Big 12 schedule is every year. And in year one, I think they're probably playing with house money just a little bit, Smack. The pressure isn't on at least DeVries as much. Maybe it is to him, but it's the way I see it. I feel like he's got a year, to get this thing really figured out and get some depth for next year and all that, because they're not in the place there. I feel like next year, with who they've added freshman-wise, now we're going to have to see how Powell and Tenor and Hansberry and Sincere, and if they all stick around, how they look from this year and through the year with Ofri, all the youth we have on this team. Mixed, because we're going to lose Tucker, we're going to lose O'Connie, we're going to lose some guys after this year. What's this team going to look like going into next year when they've got some time under them? We'll know who our guys are going into next year. It's going to be interesting to see what this team. I really think he's going to have something nice for us actually next year. But and I think we'll be able to add the big we want and all that, because we're going to have some established players, man. Just think, if they didn't have to add so many, they could have went out and got a big, 2 or 3 major players. But we had to add freaking 11, 12. It's tough. It's tough, man. So next year I think is going to be the year for us. But non-conference, you do have to win non-conference games. I'm not saying you don't. As far as this year goes, you better if you want to have a shot at the tournament. And that Italy trip is going to be extremely important, which brings me to my next subject. We're going to move off of this. Which way do I want to go? Well, let me do this one first. Did I write an article about it yesterday? I can't remember. I don't remember if I did or not. I think I tried to. Okay, so let me go on here to Google, and let's see. All right, see if I can find anything here on it. Javarian Bateman, a top 50 player, guys, out of sorry about that. I forgot to turn that off. I'll find it on my X page here. All right. Let's do this. So West Virginia is the mix in the top 4 for a top 50 player. And here we go right here. I'll go ahead and pull this up now. Let me go ahead and share screen. Oh, you guys already see it. Okay, so class of 2025, Jamarian Bateman, spring highlights. I could have sworn he was 24. I apologize. I must have made a mistake here. But I thought he was – I'm not going to lie, guys. I made a mistake on that. I thought he was a 24 guy. So forgive me. I really am sorry. I didn't realize that I made that mistake. So he's a 2025 guy. For whatever reason, I thought this was for this year. Okay, neither here nor there. The class of 2025, Jamari Bateman, spring highlights with Power 5 and MAS. Wow. The top 50 prospect has cut his list down to Clemson, Iowa State, Marquette, and West Virginia. And, of course, that's on YouTube, so I can't go there. This is Joe Tipton is down to 4. So, I mean, it's being reported several places. Let me hit that follow button on him. So, he hasn't posted any media. That stinks. Hoping to see some highlights. But so come follow. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Let's see what this looks like. Boom, 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 boom. Make sure the music's off. There he is right there, I'm pretty sure. Turn that down just a touch. It'll blow your eardrums out. Nice step back. Mid-range. Beautiful. What an odd shot. Okay. That was slick. This guy's got a really, really smooth jumper on him, no doubt. He's a bucket. Nice rebound. Running the floor. And finishing at the rim. You don't get to be top 50 for no reason. That mid-range game, though. Nice. So he's not what I would consider a explosive above the rim player. Not that he's not a good athlete, but he's not trying to think of somebody like Joe Alexander, or even though he was 6'8", it's not even really a good comparison. Even a Deuce. Let's go with a Deuce. Deuce is a great athlete. This kid here is what you can see. He's one of those like Taz Sherman type players, it looks like, and that's only off of what you've seen there, 2 minutes of film. So it's probably not the greatest snap judgment, but he would be an incredible piece to pick up. Offensively, you can see he's extremely skilled on the offensive end of the floor, and everything I've read said he is a bulldog on defense too. There's a reason they're in on him. It'd be a huge pickup, guys, huge pickup. And he's from the Maryland area. I don't know what our shot is with him. I've reached out to his head coach and have a conversation in progress. I'm waiting on his response from high school. I don't know that he'll tell me. What is it? I don't know exactly what the motivation would be to tell me. I told him I wouldn't say anything if he does, but you never know how those conversations are going to go. Usually I'm pretty good at getting the information, but, here lately it's been kind of slow going on the basketball side. And so, but I'm going to transition into something else that I really want to talk about today. I'm really excited about the practices this team's been having. And Devries sat down with 3 guys before the game yesterday and really highlighted every player on the roster. He spoke on everybody. And what if I told you the most impressive, and if you didn't watch 3 guys before the game, what if I told you the most impressive or surprising player on the roster so far during summer workouts wasn't Tucker Devries, it wasn't Javon Small, it wasn't Toby Okani. None of those guys. It wasn't Sincere Harrison. It wasn't Hansberry, although Hansberry was mentioned heavily in this. It's KJ Tenner, the freshman. Biggest surprise so far. Guys, I told you, me and Jordan, we talked about him the last time we were on here together. And when we signed him, if you go back and watch the video, I'm not trying to pat myself on the back too much, but I felt he was going to be a great fit because Devries knows guards. Sorry, I have Uber Eats on the way, and it just keeps on. It just won't shut up. It doesn't shut up ever. All right. Got a little hibachi on the way. You know what I'm saying? But so, I believe Tanner is not just a little bit skilled. He's extremely skilled. He's got a floater that he hits consistently from the free throw line. And if you haven't seen any KJ Tanner highlights, you're about to today. But I'm going to go down this list of some notes that I took on exactly what he had to say on each player. Now, this is my shorthand. I was taking notes right up until 6:30 when I had this show planned for. So apologies on some of it. It's not really as detailed as I wanted. But Eduardo Andre, he was asked about, and he said he has great length. He's going to be a rim runner and a rim protector, and he's really good at running the floor. Obviously, our tallest player. Jake Auer, who was a walk-on from Des Moines Valley High School. He was Tucker DeVries' arch rival in high school and will be a practice-only player, according to Darian Devries, a practice-only player. Then they got to Tucker DeVries, who is playing a little bit of 5-on-0 right now, which I already knew about. He's probably going to be in mid to late July as far as his shoulders goes. They're hoping he'll be ready to go by then. And hopefully he'll be fully cleared the week, maybe two before the Italy trip. And if that's the case, he will play on the Italy trip. So I had so many different angles I could have went with news tonight. I almost led with that because that's big news. If Tucker can make the Italy trip, our season is going to go a lot smoother than I was worried about there for a while because, we need him to make that Italy trip, obviously. Hopefully he goes anyway, whether he can play or not, and I'm sure he will. Sincere Harris is everything we've been told that he is. He's you hear the word plus thrown around when somebody is above average in something. He's a plus defender. He's a double better than that. He is Javon Carter, possibly down the road type defender. So we're talking about a guy that can get on the all-conference list as a defender. I think that's a fair thing to say. Based on his Illinois tape, he changed games as a true freshman. He said he's able to get into the paint on offense, which is great. We need that. He's able to dribble, penetrate. He's got great energy, and he's a guy you can say, hey, go disrupt the ball, was the term used. You can say, go disrupt the ball, and he'll go do it. So he's like a little bulldog. You just tell him what to go do. Dylan J., the second of the walk-ons in recent weeks, basically he's got great size, right around 6'6". He's a great shooter, but this is going to be a developmental year for him. It does not sound like he's going to be a practice-only player to me. So maybe Dylan J. is somebody that can earn a scholarship by his play this year. We'll wait and see on that. Ofri just came back from overseas playing with the national team. He did mention that he had good size and has put on some weight. Jonathan Powell said he's filled out. This is our 4-star that transferred, that was Xavier, that basically at the last minute decommitted from Xavier and chose us, right? Big time pickup for us. Extremely skilled offensive player. He said he's filled out for a freshman. In other words, he's very muscular. He's got great strength, an extremely competent shooter, and great length. Javon Small, extremely impressive. Runs offense as well. Is extremely experienced, makes the right reads, and just has elite vision. So, and these are all summaries of Darian Devries' words, guys. So he talked about Stone being a really good athlete. in just a 20-plus point scorer. They said he does not want to be that this year. They've already talked about it, and Stone is not going to have to be that on this team. This iteration of Stone is going to be in probably to that 12 to 15 points per game range, we hope, right? And I think that's what DeVries, if he could have said, would have said. Obviously, you'll take it on a night when you need it, but he's not going to be averaging 21 on this game. That's going to be Tucker, most likely. Toby Oconee, just an incredible defender. Talked about him being an all-league defender. I've had Toby on my show, on this show. Said he's an improving shooter, and he's held to that line since he signed Toby Oconee. And in conversations with Toby, he told me, hey, look, Coach DeVries believes he can be a good shooter. So we'll see where that goes. Last but not least, we're talking about KJ Tenner. He said he's the biggest surprise. Terrific and great feel for the game. He said he's been terrific and has a great feel for the game. I missed my comma. He said he always smiles, has great instincts, and here's the best thing, the best compliment you could give a guy. He said, I would play him today. If we had a game, I could put him out there today and feel confident in his ability. High praise for KJ Tenner, guys. High praise for KJ Tenner. So on that note, let's go over to X. I've used this before. I was extremely impressed when I did it last time. I'm going to try to get KJ Tenner on the show now because I'm going to try to get him in for an interview so everybody can meet him. As you can see, he and I are pretty cool. We do talk every now and then. I'm going to see what I can get out of him. Let's see. Yep, right here. So, talking about Tenner. Well, hey, look, here's some highlights as we speak.
He's a point guard from Cordova High School in Tennessee. The senior was named Tennessee's Mr. Basketball last season after averaging 20 points, 5 assists, and 4 steals per game. He scored more than 1,500 points in his high school career, and he was a 2-time district player of the year. He's also an impressive.
Look at those handles.
He has a 3.9 grade point average, and he does various
that floater.
Projects to help provide food.
Beautiful jumper.
He originally committed to Coach Darian Devries at Drake University, but when Devries was named the new head coach of West Virginia,
there's that floater.
KJ took advantage of the opportunity to follow him to Morgantown. He will suit up for the Mountaineers this fall. If you'd like to be featured in this segment, we want to hear from you. Go to sportsstarsoftomorrow.com and click on.
This kid's going to be so good. And there are people actively crapping on him, guys, even still, just so you know. I'm going to play one more video with Tenner so we can get a couple of those floaters in. I want you to see them. But I'm telling you, there are people in chat rooms right now that still believe Tenner shouldn't play this year because of his size. I'm here to tell you he's going to be a stud and our backup point guard, and he's going to get big minutes and be a big-time scorer for us. That's my opinion. There's that floater, guys, right off the rip. Boom. That's really not technically a floater, but it's similar to the one he does. I thought that was an entire highlight video, but you guys get the gist on KJ Tenner. I am beyond impressed with what's been said about him, and can't wait to see what he looks like this coming year. David Cummings says we have a ball coach. He won at Drake. Who wins at Drake this year might be special. No one is scared of the fog. I don't know about that, David. But, I mean, it seems like you're pretty stuck on that. Some days you get the bear, and other days the bear gets you, said Whisker. That's right, buddy. That's pretty much how it works. All right, guys. Like the video if you can before you bounce out of here tonight. Subscribe to the channel. It would mean a lot to me if you could do that. Also, I have a Discord. I don't know if you're interested in that. Drop a comment below, by the way. Let me pull that up for you guys so that I can give you the name for it, and I'll type it down in the let's see, down in the chat board here. The name of my website is WVinsiders.com, John. I'll type that in first. Thanks for asking. Actually, I'm glad you said that. We're giving away a free Garrett Green helmet. It's been signed by Garrett Green. It's a mini helmet. Okay. I haven't mentioned this the last couple episodes because I just figured, at this point, pretty much everybody knows about it, but I need to quit making those assumptions, I guess. So there I am on Discord. I don't know if you can see that or not. It looks blurry. It's Mountaineer Paul, WVU. And I truly don't know if that's what I'm even supposed to tell you. Mountaineer Paul's Fanatics Insiders. Mountaineer-Paul's Fanatics-Insiders. If I'm telling the wrong thing, I'm sorry. So this is, there's a couple of different ones it's saying, but there's that, and then there's if you want to join the Discord server, guys, it'd be a good time to do that. That way we can talk as a community, and just some other things like that. Obviously, the forum on the website, which is what I'm going to plug to you next. We're going to give away this right here. Garrett Green signed mini helmet. It's been a long time coming. We've got 4 days left on this. So Garrett Green signed this helmet. GG. And if you want it, all you have to do is go to WVinsiders.com. Let me go ahead and share screen with you again. And it's pretty simple. Oop, I don't know what I did there. So you're going to go to Mountaineer Paul Talks Football, which is right here, and you're going to click on that, and you're going to subscribe, right? Back out of that, go to Hoops from the Hills, click on that, and then subscribe. And then you're going to go to forums, which I need to check on more. I keep forgetting to check all this stuff, guys. I apologize. And sign up on under general, and then go to giveaway. Eat Shit Pit post here. Okay? Do that, and make sure I know your name. Obviously, make sure it's the same on YouTube as it is on the forum, so I don't, miss anybody. And you're going to get this mini helmet. It'll be on my dime. I'll mail it to you, and that'll be that. So we announcing the winner on the 1st. So good luck to everybody that enters, and thank you for doing so. All right, guys. A couple more comments to get to. Also, guys, super chat buttons super chat's always open if you want to donate to the channel. It's my full-time job. Cash App on Cash App is ROCKEL 85. So if you want to donate to the channel or help the show, those are the two ways I know that you can do it besides just liking, sharing. To me personally, I would rather just have if you copy the link or if you click share and then just share to your Facebook or whatever X account, Twitter, whatever, Instagram, wherever, I would prefer that, to be honest, over anything else. But it's really hard for everybody to apparently, according to the numbers, I think everybody, I know I've thought it before. You think, well, I'm sure everybody else was doing it, and then you don't do it, and then nobody does it. It's the weirdest thing. You ask people to like and subscribe, and it's almost like psychology kicks in, and people just don't want to do it. Because I look at the numbers on this thing, I'm serious, y'all. Like 80-90% of people don't subscribe. It's insane. I don't know. I mean, maybe there's maybe they don't like it, or maybe there's like a resentment, or that's just the numbers. I'm not really sure, but it is insane. Seriously, I don't know why it happens. Grayson Berg, what's up? Mountaineer Paul, I even changed my YouTube to my real name so it'll be easier for you to contact me when I win that Garrett Green helmet. Hey, look, I hope you do, man. I'm rooting for everybody to win that thing, and we'll do a randomizer. I probably need to start figuring that out today, actually. That way I'm not taken off guard the day of, because, I don't know. Maybe I'll just do names in a hat, or I don't know. I'll do it live, whatever it is. We'll do it live. It'll be on the up and up, obviously. There's no money involved, so that's always good. But, yeah, it's going to be a fun time, and I hope whoever wins it really appreciates it, because you never know what Garrett will do. I mean, Julian Edelman was a quarterback, too, at one point in time, and he turned out to be a borderline Hall of Fame player that's, beloved. So you never know what Garrett will do, and this helmet can be worth something someday. So it'd be pretty damn cool to have, I'd say. All right, guys. Appreciate you guys for stopping on this episode of Hoops from the Hills. We're 40 minutes in. That's good enough for me. Keep coming back. And listen, if 15 or 20 of you guys could just share the video somewhere when you leave, it would mean a lot to me, but I get it. If you can't, you can't. So not a big deal, not the end of the world. But got to ask, so can't grow the channel without your help. Keep coming back, like I say, guys, and we got some more updates coming, some other stuff happening. Monday, I think that kid announces his recruitment. They're looking for another player to add anytime now, so hopefully we get an addition to the basketball team, but we've got some more football stuff happening as well, and we're getting close to the season, so it's going to be time to really pick up. So, all right, guys, and thanks, Grayson. Appreciate that, everybody. Thank you very much. Keep coming back, y'all, and this episode is over, and I'm out.